That's right. Back better than ever. Back better than ever. This is the Mike Sevilla radio program. You can go to drmikesevilla.com. So I'm talking about this meeting I'm going to this week, Aligning Forces for Quality, November 6th through 8th in Austin, Texas. You can go to Forces, the number 4 Quality, Forces, the number 4 Quality.org. And scroll down to the bottom and you can see the November 2013 meeting. So the theme is influence, which I think is very cool. And they asked me to be on a panel, and it's breakout session number 1. There you go, see? That's what I'm talking about. And so the breakout session is called Influence Through Social Media, Trust, Share, Engage. And I'll read this description here. Social media is an undeniable force in healthcare, decision-making, advocacy, communications. Increasingly, it is the way of turbo-boosting your influence in the field and in the conversation, making connections you otherwise could not have made, and building a following for your efforts. It is a natural source of collective influence and collaboration. And they say bullet point 1, the place to connect. 65% of online adults use social networking sites. Bullet point number 2, deeper engagement. Nearly 90% of those ages 18 through 24 would engage in health activities or trust information found via social media. Bullet point 3, opportunity to personalize encounters and gather data. 1 out of 3 consumers say they would be comfortable having their social media monitored if the data could help them identify ways to improve their care or better coordinate their care. And bullet point number 4, new expectations. More than 75% of consumers expect healthcare entities to respond within a day or less to social media appointment requests, and nearly half expect a response within a few hours. How can you tap into this vein of influence, and how can you quantify its impact? And I'm on with 3 other panelists: Ed Bennett, Director, Web and Communications Technology, University of Maryland Medical System; Susanna Shepard, Public Affairs Specialist, Center of Social Media, Mayo Clinic; and Alicia Staley, Consumer Representative, Greater Boston Aligning, and I believe creator of the Breast Cancer Social Media Chat Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to be on this panel together, and it's going to be on Thursday, a week from today. And, to be honest, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to be talking about yet. Because I've been doing, these type of panels and talks for a few years now, and there are a million directions that you can go talking about social media when it comes to leadership and influence. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think they want me to talk about how to be obviously influential, how to gain influence, how to gather a following, how to have a following. They probably saw the number of Twitter followers that I have and say, how do you do that? And what I always tell people, when I'm talking about social media and medicine and trying to get some gain influence, get people following you, get people listening to what you're talking about. You just have to believe down deep inside you that you can do it, because it is very intimidating out there in this big ocean of social media to try to get any kind of attention out there. And some people take pretty silly steps to try to gain attention. It's just like little kids or immature adults trying to get attention. That's not really how you do that. That's not really how you get more Twitter followers. You have to gain influence, but by making a logical yet emotional argument for what you're passionate about. For me, for my specialty and what I'm doing, I really believe in my heart that every American deserves a family physician. And I talk about that at drmikesavilla.com. I talk about that, when we talk about this family medicine revolution hashtag, FM revolution hashtag that we have out there on Twitter, trying to find other family docs out there to help tell the story of family medicine. I've been seeing in some recent meetings, that they're really, telling people to tell their own story because no one else will tell it for them. When I talk to at meetings, I always, tell people that, we as a family medicine community have let other people tell the family medicine story, and it's the wrong story. And, whether you're a patient advocate, whether you're a provider, whether you're a physician, whether you're a community leader, you have to, find your voice, find your social media voice, however that is. For some people, it's writing blog posts. For some people, it's writing short Twitter updates or social media or Facebook updates. Some people take pictures and use platforms like Instagram to tell their story. You have to find a way to tell your story, something that is comfortable for you, something that you can balance your time doing with all the other things that are going on in your life. You have to, communicate and refine that story. People always talk about the elevator speech. Can you drill down? Can you summarize what your message is, who you are, in 2 to 3 minutes, using language that is understandable to everybody, not a lot of technical jargon. And a lot of this, it just comes down to normal, communication, non-digital communication. How do you communicate your message out there, whatever that you want to say, whether you're a provider, a physician, a consumer, a legislator, a parent, a grandparent, anything. And so over the next week, I'm going to be, trying to figure out what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, how I'm going to try to stand out a little bit from these other panelists, because this is a super panel that I've seen in the past, I've read about, and just to try to, just distinguish my message different from them. You have to find other stakeholders, people who believe the same things that you do. If you're a consumer, or you're a patient, you find other people, who feel the same that you do, that can help amplify your message. As a consumer, as an e-patient, as an advocate, that is not easy to do. And really, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to this meeting, I believe it's going to come down to, how can you influence the people in power? How can you influence the policymakers? How can you influence the powers that be to change health policy, to change laws where you see that there is an injustice? I saw, on the schedule, that there are going to be some at least state level legislators at this meeting giving panels and doing workshops as well. I plan to be going to check out some of their tips and tricks on how to more effectively communicate with legislators. That's going to be an interesting type of thing. And if you don't have an online community, you can definitely create one yourself. There's a lot of e-patient communities. There's a lot of provider communities out there that were created by somebody who is very driven, very motivated. They found other people who feel the same to tell the same story. Another thing I tell people is, you really do have to find other people to, who have the same point of view. You have to cultivate that base of supporters before you can kind of reach out to other groups to try to gain influence there. I really think that that the mobile device is something that's going to be very important in trying to gain influence, spread influence. Using that smartphone, using that laptop computer to tell the story, to contact people, to follow up with those people in power, with those legislators, with those powers that be. I've seen some already. There's a number of apps that are out there too that can help you with this. There's an app for this meeting, and for social media, I mean, they are using a hashtag as well for the meeting. I hope to be helping with that. It's hashtag AF4Q, and they have an app. They have a Twitter account. Its Twitter account is at Aligning Forces. And I'll be very curious to talk to some of the staff about what their social media experience has been at an organizational level. That's going to be fun for me to kind of talk with them and explore with them a little bit to see how I can help them with some of that stuff. So there's going to be 2 panels during the meeting. Breakout sessions, influence through social media, trust, share, and engage. And it's going to be fun, finalizing this over the next week or so, what specifically I'm going to be saying. And what I really enjoy is the question and answer sessions that are going to be taking place during the session as well. That's going to be fun for me to try to do. And I think I'm going to be moderating this panel. Still haven't not really clear if that's really going to happen. I don't know, but that's my understanding, and that's going to be my preparation for that. And I'm also thinking about sharing some practical tips. When you think about social media, when you think about Twitter, when you think about Facebook, and what people use social media for. People use social media for self-promotion, of course. But some people use social media for affirmation. When I look through that family medicine revolution hashtag, I see a lot of family docs out there saying, "Hey, I love my job. I love seeing kids. I love full scope family medicine. I love delivering babies. I love going to the nursing home, taking care of our geriatric patients. I love when there are 2 or 3 or 4 generations of people in the exam room because it's a whole family visit. It's always fun to try to navigate through that. So sometimes I go to that FM Revolution hashtag to just gain some strength and to remind myself why I picked this specialty. And that's always fun when people say why they love doing what they do. That's always fun. Some people use Twitter and Facebook to share articles. Sometimes within your industry, sometimes it's just other types of good information. For me, sometimes I like to share technology articles. I have a lot of Apple and Macintosh stuff, so I read those articles as well. I see more and more people using Twitter in the meeting setting, at conferences. Using Twitter to as a note taking during sessions, and that's always fun to try to follow the meeting through Twitter. And I really think that social media, it really is the modern, business card. Because, when people look at your Twitter and Facebook feed, they kind of get a feel of who you are, what your interests are, what's important to you. And you can do that, a lot better using social media than just with a silly little business card. Now, I'm still going to be bringing business cards with me. I mean, don't get me wrong. So I have all these ideas that I'm trying to be distilling down to the essence of what I'm going to be sharing during this panel session. So, but I'm pretty excited about it. I want to thank the people at Aligning Forces for Quality, the staff there, for inviting me to be on a panel at this meeting. It's going to be fun. So I encourage you to follow what I'm doing on Twitter, because I'm going to be tweeting out a lot of stuff, and on Facebook, and I'm going to be writing some blog posts as well. You can get all the stuff at drmikesevilla.com.